contrary to how you run exploit, where you have the commas between each of the um, option variables, in MSF payload you do spaces. So lhost equals 192.168.199.130. lport, because I like 4050 all the time. Now, in here we don't have to specify exit on session because we're not creating a listener. The only really options that you have to deal with are payload-based options, like lhost, lport. Now, in the psexec, oh, I'm sorry, psexec's not a payload. All right. So, for those who've never run MSF payload before, there's a bunch of options on how you export a payload. R is exporting raw, so that's raw bits into standard out. You recommend that the localhost variable be a box behind a NAT with a port forward or a box naked to the internet. I never suggest anything naked to the internet because you're just asking for trouble. I would highly suggest um, putting it behind port forwarding. However, that does initiate issues um, with connectbacks sometimes. Um, and when you have something that connects um, through a net, sometimes you have some disconnects. Again, having a box, a with a firewall, yeah, I mean that would work, but I don't know why you would take the chance. I mean, yeah, it's you know, trying to think it through in my head, but I'm always falling back to I want it behind something. Um, the connection back. Now, the only time that I really think that something should be naked to the internet is using something called ear trumpet, a great tool by uh, DigiNinja, where you have a small application internal to your pen test, so you get into the internal guts, and you want to find what your exfiltration routes are. You run this, um, and it will systematically ear trumpet. Here, I'll type it. So what it will do is it will systematically try different ports to get out to trumpet, or I'm sorry, ear. So trumpet will be the small little script that you run internally, the binary you run internally, and ear will be on the outside on a box that you have naked to the internet, directly connected to the internet, um, that listens on every possible port. So it will try and find what ports are open um, when you're in your egress filtering. So back to our MSF payload. We have Windows Interpreter Reverse TCP, lhost, lport, and the letter R in uppercase means raw. straight binary bits. Now, there is the TAC-X, which tells it to go into a executable, or PE executable, or Windows executable. But the great thing about using R is that you can pipe it into MSF encode. Now, you don't have to. If you do the TAC-X, it will do one-time encoding with Shigaraga 9. So it will automatically, by default, encode. However, if you want to do um, any kind of little customizations, you're going to have to just throw it into MSF encode. So we're just going to do the TAC-X. .exe. Alright, so it created the payload with those options, length 310. Not a big deal. We move Bob to /temp.